I am Mrs. Divina Gracia Peña of Centro Escolar University. Welcome to Module 5, Lesson 3, Sharing Ideas with Others. In today's lesson, you will learn essential skills to effectively interact with others and express your thoughts about different food or food recipes. You will also master the use of relative clause. Learning how to form or when to use the relative clause will make your speaking and listening skills even better. Welcome to Module 5, Lesson 3, Sharing Ideas with Others. This lesson is designed to equip you with essential skills to effectively interact with others and express your thoughts while mastering the use of relative clauses. The objectives of the lesson are 1. Evaluate ideas. This involves critically analyzing concepts or proposals, considering their strengths, weaknesses, and validity to make informed judgments. 2. Use would in expressing habits in the past. Mastering the use of would involves understanding its appropriate placement within the sentence to denote past habitual actions, providing a clearer and more intricate description of past routines or behaviors. Grammar focus. Using would in expressing habits in the past. Use would to express past actions or describe habits or repeated actions that happened in the past. The basic structure is subject plus would plus the base form of the verb. Again, subject plus would plus the base form of the verb. Here are some examples. When I was younger, I would always eat cereal for breakfast. Every summer, my family would go on a road trip to visit relatives. Robert and Rose would often go hiking in the mountains on the weekends. In all of these sentences, would was used to indicate repeated action or habit that occurred in the past. Another set of examples. Malia would frequently order sushi burritos or poke balls from a local restaurant that specialized in Japanese Hawaiian fusion cuisine. The first family would host dinner parties where they would serve dishes that combined flavors from different cuisines, such as Indian Chinese fusion or African Caribbean fusion. Just like in the previous examples, these two sentences also made use of the word would to indicate repeated action or habits that occurred in the past. Let's have a short grammar activity. Choose the sentence that correctly uses would to express a past habit, or complete the sentence with the correct form of would and the correct food item. Number 1. Which sentence correctly uses would to express a past habit? A. She used to cook Italian-Thai fusion dishes every weekend. B. They would often eat sushi for lunch when they lived in New York. C. He was used to ordering Indian takeout for dinner. The answer is obviously letter B, since only sentence B uses the word would in the sentence. Let us now move on to the second type of relative clause, which is the non-restrictive or non-defining relative clause. A non-restrictive or non-defining relative clause is a type of dependent clause that provides additional, non-essential information about the noun or pronoun it modifies. Even without this clause, the sentence will still make sense. Let us consider this particular sentence. The dish, which combines traditional Korean flavors with Mexican spices, is a popular item on the menu. In this particular sentence, the non-restrictive relative clause which combines traditional Korean flavors with Mexican spices, add information to the noun dish. However, this information is not essential, meaning to say it's not important, and even without that particular information, the sentence would still exist. The sentence would still make sense. Here are other examples of sentences with non-restrictive relative clause. The chef who trained in some of the top kitchens in Europe brings a unique perspective to her cooking. Who has trained in some of the top kitchens in Europe is the non-restrictive relative clause. The ingredients, which include local produce and sustainable seafood, are carefully sourced to ensure the highest quality. Which include local produce and sustainable seafood is the non-restrictive relative clause. The restaurant that specializes in fusion cuisine from around the world is a must-visit for foodies. That specializes in fusion cuisine from around the world is the non-restrictive relative clause. In all of these sentences, the non-restrictive relative clauses provide information to the noun or the pronoun. However, these information are not important. Thus, there is nothing wrong with removing them in the sentence because the sentence would still make sense even without the non-restrictive relative clauses. Okay, let's try a short grammar activity. Identify if the sentence uses restrictive or defining relative clause or a non-restrictive or non-defining relative clause. Write R for restrictive relative clause and NR for non-restrictive relative clause. Here are the answers. Number 1, the restaurant which specializes in Asian fusion cuisine is always packed with customers. The clause which specializes in Asian fusion cuisine is non-restrictive. It is non-restrictive because it does not provide essential information to the noun or the pronoun in the sentence. Number 2, the chef who trained in Paris creates unique and innovative dishes that blend French and Japanese influences. The clause who trained in Paris is non-restrictive. It does not provide essential information to the noun or the pronoun in the sentence. Number 3, the sushi roll that is filled with cream cheese and topped with spicy mayo has become a popular dish at many American sushi restaurants. The clause that is filled with cream cheese and topped with spicy mayo is an example of a restrictive relative clause. It is restrictive because it provides essential information to the noun sushi roll. Number 4, the dish, which is made with a blend of Indian and Thai spices, is a perfect example of fusion cuisine. The clause, which is made with a blend of Indian and Thai spices, is an example of a non-restrictive relative clause. It's non-restrictive because it does not provide essential information to the noun, the dish. Number 5, the dessert, which is a fusion of traditional American apple pie and French tart tatin, is a delicious and unique creation. The clause, which is a fusion of traditional American apple pie and French tart tatin, is an example of a restrictive relative clause. It is restrictive because it provides essential information to the noun dessert. I hope you were able to get all the answers correctly. Check your understanding of the lesson. Answer this short quiz and then afterwards, check your answers. The answers are provided in the next slide. Good luck! To sum up today's discussion, take note of the following. 1. A relative clause is a dependent clause that offers additional information about the noun or the pronoun. It has a subject and a verb, but it cannot function independently as a sentence. 2. A relative clause always begins with a relative pronoun like who, whom, whose, which, or that. 3. There are two types of relative clauses: restrictive or defining relative clause and non-restrictive or non-defining relative clause. A restrictive relative clause provides essential information about the noun it modifies, while a non-restrictive relative clause does not provide essential information to the noun or pronoun it refers to. Please take a moment to think about this line. Food fusion is a double-edged sword. It may either enrich or deplete a country's culinary identity. To delve deeper into these topics, I encourage you to explore the complete module available on Global English Competitiveness for B2 learners. Once more, I am Mrs. Divina Gracia Peña, your instructor for Module 5, Lesson 3. It has been a pleasure sharing this educational voyage with you. As you embark on your next phase of communicative growth, Lesson 4, Evaluating Ideas of Others, of Module 5 awaits your exploration. Farewell and best wishes on your continued learning journey.